Foremost, good morning, everybody. As you can see by the shakes on my phone, I am driving. I'm heading to work, and yeah, I don't really do lives as much as I used to, but I have to stick to my original plan and do them very, very, very unexpectedly. So I don't expect anyone here because, hey, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like some ungodly hour on the West Coast, so you should be here. My East Coast people, you guys should be heading to work, so I shouldn't really expect a lot of you. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about something that came to me yesterday when I was thinking. I was going to make a whole video about it, but I figured why not go live about it, and people can just catch it later. I was thinking about card setups. Now, I've done videos about card setups before, but here's the deal. With a card setup, there's really no wrong way to do it. But one thing that people tend to focus on is you got this whole team cashback, team travel, team this, team that. I think it's kind of silly because as long as you are getting value from it, the quote unquote team, it's really kind of negligible. So I have a setup here that is actually not for the aspirational traveler, not for the hyper cashback person, but for the people who pretty much exist in the majority, and that's the normal human. The normal person is going to travel occasionally, maybe twice a year. They're going to travel maybe even once a year when it ties into their vacation at work. So loading up on convertible currencies, while that might be tantalizing to somebody like me who does a lot of business travel, that doesn't work for someone who per se is a teacher, who is literally out of the travel game for almost 10 months a year. And then during the summer, yeah, you're home, but you got your own kids and things to deal with. So these are the kind of things that I'm thinking about. So now I know in the credit card niche, there are a lot of lines in the sand, and people don't really like hybridization because it opens the door for a lot of interpretation. Then you got a lot of armchair quarterbacks that'll jump into your comment section and tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, or this isn't right, or that's not a proper trifecta, or whatever. But to that I say, shut up. And the reason being is because, once again, as long as you are gaining value, then that is what matters. Oh wow, I got 3 people in here. I didn't expect 3 people to come in here because it's pretty early. Well, the 3 people that are in here, welcome. So, what we're going to get into is a card setup that I came up with that literally covers almost every spending category for the common man, not the credit card enthusiast, not the business traveler, not the world traveler, not the aspirational traveler, not the hyper miler, the hyper cashback person, but for the normal human. So first things first, when you build a card setup, here's the best way to go about it. First of all, you need to line up your sign up bonuses and see if all of your cards have sign up bonuses. For this 4 card setup, I do believe most of them don't have sign up bonuses unless they change. So I never really commit to a lot of stuff. So the first thing you want to do is set your catch all card. And for this setup, the catch-all card, by the way, this is a no chase card setup, so 524 will not be an issue unless you want to do it afterwards. With this 4 card setup, the catch-all card will be the Bilt MasterCard. It is important that you understand that this is the catch-all card, but I'm going to explain to you why this is a catch-all card, because going into the second card, as a matter of fact, forget the second card. The Bilt MasterCard has 3x on dining, 1x on rent. I think, what is it, 2x on travel? Yeah, 2x on travel. But one of the superpowers that it has is rent day. Rent day doubles all the multipliers except for rent. So now with this catch-all card, you have Bilt points, which are very valuable because they have exclusivity with American Airlines, where you can book very cheap one world flights, because booking American Airlines reward space leaving from the United States X's out the carrier imposed fees and just gives you those awesome aspirational trips for $5.60. So That is why the Bilt card is your catch-all card. Now, this next card is what I call a keystone card. In other words, this is, pretty much the gel that makes this thing work. And it's actually the curve card. Now, shout out to Calby Yang, shout out to Anthony Venture. They've really been bringing a lot of attention to the curve card. And here's the reason why the curve card matters. Is that with the curve, you can attach the Bilt to it because the Bilt is a MasterCard, and the curve card will allow you to use the little jump in time skip trace tactic, and you can put any and all non-category spend to the first, which is rent day, which guarantees you a basement of 2 points per transaction. That is something that you can start. There's nothing against it. There's nothing illegal about it. You're not gaming the system per se because you are operating within its confines. So now, those are your convertible currencies. I know you're asking yourself, well, you said that we were going to hybridize this for the common man. Absolutely. It certainly is. So now, your everything card, this is going to be your Swiss Army Knife Junior card. And that is going to be the Discover It card. Now, the Discover It is actually a really good card. Most people don't talk about it in the credit community and in the credit card niche because it's a cashback card, kind of aimed at subprime borrowers. With Discover being a subprime lender as well, they help people build their credit, a lot of student cards, and they don't really have a convertible currency presence. But the Discover It card is going to give you unlimited cash back. The first year, your cash back is matched dollar for dollar. So if you max out the categories throughout the year, you potentially have $600 cash back. And in addition to that, outside of the Bilt card, any other spend, Amazon, Target, Walmart, gas, you can actually attach it to the curve card since the curve card accepts Discover cards, and any non-category spend can actually be slung to that and effectually get you 5% back in some cases. So now, just in case you're also asking, hey, what's up, John? Just in case you're also asking why a cashback and convertible mixed card, a convertible currency card, is because, like the big homie Sledge from Sledge Inc. team, if you haven't checked out his channel, check his channel. That's another thing. I'm gonna, try to collapse the people that I suggest because, you know, um, we want to keep this laser focused. But what Sledge says is that, when you're in your day to day, and then also even on trips, when you're doing experiences and stuff like that, you can't pay for it with points. So since you can't do that, and on the slide you're gonna need cash, and the Discover It allows you to cash out at any amount whatsoever, like this is gonna help. So this way you have all your rotating categories covered. You have unlimited cash back. Now, mind you, like I said, it is 1%. 1% on the Discover It, but with the curve, non-category spend can be flipped to the Bilt card, get you 2%. So that way you're still at a basement 2% because remember your Bilt's your catch-all. So now we've covered the Bilt card, the curve card, and the Discover It card. Now the final card, which will actually round out this card setup, this is going to be based in travel, and this is actually going to cover other categories that other cards tend to miss. And then we're going to do a synopsis afterwards. And that card is not the Swiss Army Knife Junior, but the Swiss Army Knife, period. And that is the Amex Green card. Now, the reason I'm using the green card is that the green card gets you 3x on dining, blanket, period. So you can interchange that. It's a little bit of overlap with the Bilt card. But you also get 3x on your travel, which is more than the Bilt card outside of rent day. And you get 3x on transit. So that's you go to your city's air, rail, bus, um, your Uber, your Lyft, your stuff like that. That is what that's going to cover. So all of these things cover almost every spending category that you can think of. Now, I'll show you how to cover some of the other ones that I didn't mention, but it also gives you access to Bilt, which has a great currency system set up. You can use points me to look up trips. You have access to the Amex membership rewards portal. That means you can shore that up by joining Rakuten and getting your rewards through MR points. In addition to that, you also have to remember that every Amex card is an anchor card. What does that mean? That means outside of the Chase ecosystem, you don't need a special card in order to get access to their travel partners. So, in order to get access to Amex's travel partners, you don't need the big boy platinum card or the gold card. And on top of that, this four card setup costs you $149 a year. Sorry, $150 a year, because every single card is a no annual fee card except the Amex. And then, even still, remember, this is for the occasional traveler. So if this is for the occasional traveler, the Amex, let's talk about travel benefits here, because I know anybody who is astute has already said, but wait, where are your travel protections? And here's where they are. With the Amex Green card, you have TSA PreCheck and you have Clear. If you're an occasional traveler, both of those credits will give you a net positive annual fee at the end of the day. So that is covered. Okay. So then you say to yourself, all right, well, what if I rent a car? Well, your no annual fee Bilt card is going to give you primary CDW. So you can actually put that on there and then curve. Actually, no, you can't curve it, but you can put that on your Bilt card, get the primary CDW, and now you have rental protection in addition to facilitating your way through airports. So now the extra sharp people are actually going to say, all right, Chad, well, you've covered CDW. Okay, you've covered my travel multiplier, but what about trip cancellation, trip interruption, baggage? You're not that smart. That's why your YouTube channel is not that great. Okay, well, no, that's not exactly true, because remember, the Curve card and the Bilt card are both what? World Elite MasterCards. Now, in addition to the primary CDW, you also get the protections of having a World Elite MasterCard, which is trip cancellation, trip interruption. I've actually covered this on a previous video, and some baggage coverages. Do yourself a favor, check out your card member agreement, but the World Elite MasterCard has travel protections built in, and it's from an issuer standpoint, actually, sorry, from a payment network standpoint, as opposed to the issuer standpoint. So now we have covered everything, right? So let's go back to it. But we're going to stop, because another question you're going to have is, what about gas? Okay. Now, I'm not going to get you the 5x back that the custom cash is going to get you. But basement, I can get you at least 2x back, because remember, you can use your Curve card at gas stations, curve all your gas purchases back to rent day, and now you got 2x Bilt points for rent day. And then in addition to that, if rent day is not it, you can actually use a Discover It card during the cashback quarter that includes gas stations. So now you're at 5x for gas, but only for a limited time. So I said I couldn't get it to you the way the custom cash gets it. Hey, Ron in the house. But that's it. With those four cards, I have covered more spending categories than the Amex trifecta. I've covered more spending categories than the Chase trifecta. I've even covered more spending categories than the Bilt duo that is gaining a lot of steam. Now, I think it's actually kind of comparable. Come on, are we driving here? What are we doing? So it's more comparable to the City trifecta, which isn't as popular because City doesn't really get the kind of love that they should, because I think their ecosystem isn't as robust, but their cards have a lot of things that you can do to make them customizable. But going back, and I'm sorry because I'm live, um, you want the Bilt card for your primary CDW, and that's going to be your catch-all to give you a basement 2x points on all your non-category spend. You have the superpower of rent day. So just in case you need to curb any purchases to the Bilt card, you can get double multipliers plus the Bilt card. Most people rent, so the Bilt card will also get you points on your largest expense every single month. And here's another thing. I like the Bilt card. It's one of my favorite cards. Well, let's just be honest here. Can you pay your rent with any card? If your property management takes any card, can you pay your rent with any card? Absolutely. You certainly can. Now, here's the downside is that you have to pay fees. But here's what no one seems to mention is that if you decide that you're going to pay the fee, which is your choice, you also get the points for the fees as well. So if you got $1,000 rent and they say, all right, well, we need 2.5% for you to pay on a credit card if you're not using the Bilt card. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. So that's what, 25 bucks? 2.5%? Okay. Now my rent's $1,025. All right. So if they're giving me a point per dollar instead of $1,000, it's not like they don't give me the points for the fee. I get 1,025 points. So you do get some return on that. Is it advisable from an economic sense? Of course not. You don't want to pay more rent than you have to. But you also have to remember sign up bonuses and understand that the whole point of the sign up bonus is to get to it as soon as possible. And this is an expense that can count. So, in any case, what we got going on in the chat here? Too bad I couldn't get the green. Oh, yeah, man. They pop up jail John, so he's hurting for the green. So, oh, Aaron's in pop-up jail as well. I know John has tried everything under the sun. Aaron, have you tried doing a public offer on an incognito browser or going through Resi for the green? You may want to double check that. I think they took the 20% sweetener off sometime this month, but that might be something you want to check. But anyway, back to live. So we got the Bilt card as your catch-all. It's catching your rent. You can curve to it because we have the curve card. Now, the curve card also comes with the first 6 months. You get cash back. You can get cash back in the form of cryptocurrency and or cash, period. The curve card is a World Elite MasterCard. So when you do purchases on the curve card, understand that that comes with World Elite MasterCard protections. Now, with the World Elite MasterCard, you can take 3 Lyft rides in a month. You get $5 back. Also, Bilt is a partner of Lyft. You can actually couple those together if that's your preferred, soup du jour, and you can actually still get that from both the Bilt card and the Curve card. So the Curve card is where you're going to spin transactions that need to go places that get you better multipliers. So let me see here. Oh man, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Ron. I hope they let up once once Amex gets a hold on what their money's doing, so that way they can open the pipeline up and get some new blood in here. But we've covered the Bilt card, we've covered the Curve card, and the Discover It card. Alexa, play locked up by Akon. Oh Lord, that's exactly what it is too. But the Discover It card is going to give you continual cash back, match for the first year on a basically a 2x basis. But on the first year, your quarterly categories are essentially effectively going to be 10%. So you can use the Curve card to spin purchases to curve purchases to the Discover card that fall within that those quarterly categories. So now you're getting 10% on the first year, and then beyond that, you can at least average 5%. You can't miss. Plus, the Discover Card payment network is actually in the United States. It's accepted like 99% of places. So it's not like the case of Amex where you'll see they're not expecting high spenders, but the availability is there. The Discover card has a good ecosystem behind it. It's robust. They are ready for you both online, mobile, and then on top of that, you get your Target covered, your Walmart covered, your Amazon covered, your gas covered, groceries. That's another category that we didn't talk about. Groceries aren't an outline category in this setup, but you can get a minimum of at least 2x Bilt points for your groceries should you use this system. So you literally win all over the place. So now with the fourth card, the Swiss Army knife card, the green card, let me see here, sorry. The green card covers the most categories out of all Amex charge cards, and the green card gets you a negative net annual fee. Period. And this is for the occasional traveler who also wants to hedge with cash back. You can do this without being an enthusiast and also have the safety of knowing that all throughout the year, almost every purchase that you make can be covered by one of these cards, thereby getting you a return. So this is a four card setup. This is a four-card ultimate setup for the casual traveler, for the everyday person. And those are all the categories. There's really not one that you can't get at least 2x back for. So what do you guys think in the chat? Did I miss anything? I think this is it. These four cards, no chase, no 524. You don't have to worry about it. Very low barrier to entry, and the only real barrier to entry that you're gonna find is Amex pop-up jail. And hopefully, you know what I mean, we can get some prison reform so we can get more people out of pop-up jail. But for the most part, did I miss anything? We got gas, we got grocery, we got overlap on dining, we have travel, you have two powerful card ecosystems. And for the people who, the Chase fanboys and the Chase shills, oh no, you can't do anything without Chase, oh my god. Look, what does Chase have that we don't have here? We have Hilton as a transfer partner, which is no longer exclusive to Chase. We get that through Bilt. We have American Airlines, which nobody else has. I mean, yeah, we may lose Turkish Miles and Smiles, which is a great way to book domestic flights to Hawaii, but I think Turkish Miles and Smiles might be a transfer partner of the Bilt card. I'll have to double check. I'm driving, so I can't check immediately. We have a good cash back hedge. We have all the categories that most cards do not cover, up to 5%, at least for a limited time. We have we have two sets of convertible currencies that we can use. So we also have all the Avios flavors of the Amex MR points. The Amex MR points, they run great offers. And in addition to that, the other thing that you get is Amex offers. Amex offers can get you great cash back, accelerated MR point offerings. You get all of these things on its face for $150 a year, which is not unreasonable for the common credit card user. And then in addition to that, you get TSA pre-check. That's what, 4 or 5 years that lasts. You can just do the global entry just in case you want to do an international trip. Plus you have Clear, which works at airports, sports venues, and the like. So everything is covered here. Everything. You got it all. Now, mind you, like I said, we're not maximizing because this is not for credit card enthusiasts. I'm sure everybody has a better idea as to what they can do in order to maximize these categories. But this is for the common person. This is something that you can easily teach your brother, your sister, your nephew, your niece, your aunt, your uncle, your mom. And so it's ease of use. Plus, you get everything. So let's see here. John says, thank you, covered it. Appreciate you. Aaron says, casual quadfecta, absolutely. And John says, just did my GE interview in June. I'm set. Fireboy 1614 says, well, good morning, Chad, and the rest of the community. Good morning. Awesome. Awesome. Got his global entry. Let me try to drive here. Get to work. We don't want a disastrous end to this live. So awesome. So John, you got your global entry interview. You're set. They should have given you your global entry number on the spot, and then what they'll do is they'll mail you a card. They say it's supposed to be like X amount of weeks, but it actually comes a lot faster than that. And you'll have your global entry card with your picture on, your global entry number. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you've never used global entry, I used it when I came back from France earlier this year. When I tell you 2 minutes, you are out of that line in 2 minutes. And what makes it even better is seeing all the schmucks in the passport line. I was 2 minutes out in Atlanta, right? I just literally breezed right through. They said, "Did you bring anything?" I said no. And I was there, and it was 45 minutes for the rest of the line. For people who were on my flight, it was 45 minutes. So that time saving, time is money. It's worth its weight in gold. Fireboy in here, global entry is so nice. Just used it for the first time coming back from Mexico this month. I'm telling you, especially when you see that passport line for customs, it is clutch. Global entry is clutch. And this casual trifecta affords you all of that. You get a lot of the protections that you get a lot of the benefits that the high cost specialized card setups get you. But then in addition, remember, you also get World Elite MasterCard travel protection. So you can still call MasterCard because if you charge it on your Curve card, if you charge it on your Bilt card, that's where you're going to be that's where you're going to be charging a lot of your travel, especially using the Points Me travel portal in the Bilt system, which is free. But then on the even if you book on the Amex Green card, any travel protections they don't have can actually be picked up by a travel company like Alliance or something like that, because most travel places will offer you that to protect your trip. So if they offer you that to protect your trip, you would say, "Oh my God, I have to pay extra." So what? You know what I mean? You get the points for actually paying for the protection of the trip should you book it on the green card. But for the most part, you're probably going to want to book your straight travel on the Bilt card, or you are going to use the Curve card, spin it to your Bilt card on rent day and get 4x. So Fireboy asks, what is considered the casual trifecta? It's not a trifecta, it's actually a superfecta. It is the Curve card, the Bilt card, the green card, and the Discover It card. The Discover It, powerful card. If in the right hands, the Discover It is actually a really good card, especially if you like cashback. And especially like, my people devoted to cashback, you will rarely find one of them without a Discover card in their stable, even though they're known to be a subprime lender and such and what have you, but they still have that Discover card. The Discover Novus payment network is all over the place. It's not uncommon to see that right next to the Visa and MasterCard logos in places where credit cards are accepted. And on top of that, no foreign transaction fees. On this entire card setup, I do believe the Curve, I have to double check if the Curve has foreign transaction fees, because other than that, Discover It card doesn't, Bilt doesn't, and the Amex Green does not. So you can travel both domestically and internationally on all of these cards with very little outlay. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, in the sense I'm actually pulling up to work. Wow, I got here quicker than I thought. That is what I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as a casual. Let me back up here. Let me get into this parking space. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about in the vein of a casual setup for everybody. And the funny thing is I think I actually have all four. I do have all four of these cards, right? Yeah, I do. I have the Curve, I have the Bilt, I have a Discover It, and I got a green card. Yeah, I have all four of these cards, so they're absolutely available. And if a schmuck like me can get them, you don't have to wait for that crazy barrier of entry that Capital One has, where if you have good credit and you're responsible, then they don't want to give you the card, or if you have too many cards, they don't want to give it to you, and then they give some random person $77,000 of credit limit with a Venture X that they're actually not even going to use. I didn't include any of the Capital One cards because their application process is a little wonky. I didn't include Chase because Chase is really super popular because of their exclusivity. That's really all it's about, is that people want Chase cards because it's harder to get Chase cards, so they impart value to that. But we've taken 524 completely off the table. I got you two great ecosystems: the Bilt ecosystem, which is growing by leaps and bounds, and the Amex ecosystem, which has been proven with great travel partners. You have access to all sorts of travel partners across Bilt and Amex at the same time. You have all of these things. So it's like, with this casual card setup, you can't lose. Uh-oh, Fanta in the house. Oh man, you came like right at the end because I literally just got to work. Actually, I'll sit out here for a little bit because that's the best part about being a manager. I can manage from here. Um, so Fanta, we're talking about a casual card setup that I came up with yesterday that I want to talk to everybody about. And frankly, I did not accept. Let's see here. You can't use the go back in time feature though, can you? Yeah, you can. As long as your Bilt and your Discover card are tied to your Curve card, you can go back in time. You can definitely go back in time. And when you do that, as a matter of fact, I'm about to do my go back in time for September 1st for the charges that I put on the curve card, that I'm gonna spend to the Bilt card. And it's mainly food purchases, so that way I can get the 6x. So I'm sorry, back for Fanta. Fanta, casual setup, the curve, the Bilt, the green, and Discover it. Yeah, Fireboy, Discover is a card that is accepted on the curve card. So you have versatility. Definitely want to use that on my curve card. I have my Bilt card and my Walgreens Master card. Shout out to Sledge. Oh, Matt came in. Now I really got to sit out here. I'm sure my boss is probably going to look out and be like, what is this Yahoo doing in his car? But it is what it is. What do we got? We got a couple of minutes. So, Matt, I was recounting a casual setup. I'll repeat it one last time. And that is the curve card, the Bilt card, the green card, and the Discover It for the casual traveler, for the everyday person. So I covered, if you go back in the video, you can see all the categories that I've covered, which is pretty much everything with a basement value of at least 2x Bilt points, and for the first year, at least 2% cash back with Discover, and you can actually maximize it with the first year cashback match. So let's see here. Fanta says, my setup starting November is going to be Curve, Bilt, and the Chase Ink Unlimited. I don't know if Oh, the curve Bilt chase. Yeah, that's good. You got 1.5 there. You can curve to the Bilt if you need 6x for dining. You have 5x for lift. You can partner your lift with your Bilt. If you take 3 lifts in a month, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. So now, you said you're downgrading your CSP. I understand. I've everyone knows my opinions about the CSP. It's really blah. You got people who are addicted to it because they just hear people talk about it online. So it is what it is. This all assumes a not awful monthly fee for the Curve US. I am not aware of said fee unless said fee is brand new, because I don't have any fees here. As a matter of fact, where's my Curve card? I think I have it. I do have it. Haha. I got my Curve card here, and as you guys can see, that's World Elite. There's my Curve card, nice and metal. But you downgrading the Freedom OG Unlimited or Flex? Yeah, Fana, are you down? Where are you downgrading to? Because you said you're going to be using an Ink Unlimited. Are you also going to be using a CFU in addition, or a Flex, or what? Because, like I said before, this actually accounts for the Freedom Flex with Discover's rotating categories. And this way we don't overload with convertible currency, and we do have cash back that we can use as well. So let's see here. Let's go back in the chat because I was driving, so I couldn't read a bunch of these. We're giving me on the spot. I have updated all my airline accounts with it. Okay, John has updated all of his airline accounts with his global entry number, which is very smart. All right. They have one in the UK. I'm certain similar program will come here. They're prepping a Curve 2.0. Well, for the time being, without a Curve fee, Curve away. If you got the Curve card and you got the Bilt card, you have a third card that you're using, Curve away. At this point now, I am using my Curve card for purchases. For food, I got $400 in food purchases that I'm going to be looking at to try to get 6x on. So I'll be using the curve feature for the first. Also, before I go, in addition to using my curve feature for the first, speaking of September the 1st, that will be my rent day QA. And said rent day QA for me will be filmed live on location in Las Vegas. I will have landed. I should have checked in by my at my hotel by that point. So I will be answering all you guys' questions live from the Vegas Strip, and it is going to be freaking awesome. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I might see if I can get a special guest or somebody I wanted to have on, because I also want to, get subscriber Saturdays going back again. I won't be doing a subscriber Saturday then because Saturday I'll be meeting a lot of you face to face. So it won't really make a lot of sense. So I just want to let you guys know that I will be doing rent day Q&A on location in Las Vegas. So let's see here. Fanta says, I have a Flex, but I'll probably using the Venture X if needed for any extra insurance. I don't think I'll be touching it that often. Okay. Who's that? Oh, no, she doesn't work in my office. Kay John said I want to go to Vegas, but too close to my trip to Iceland. I get it. John, Fanta, you guys will be missed. You guys are awesome parts of the community, and, you know, you can't have too many awesome human beings in one place. So you guys will definitely be missed. But it is coming up to the time that I need to actually go into this office. I'm looking around here. I don't want too many people to pull up. In addition to that, I've actually spoken in, the round table in the venture capital Discord, and it would be great also going forward to have another meetup towards the East Coast, since we have a lot of listeners there, a lot of subscribers there. I think it may be a little bit easier. So we'll see what happens after this first one goes and what we can possibly do. But yeah, I just needed to get my live legs back under me. I am so utterly and totally shocked that I got 9 people in here. I normally do these without warning, so unlike a lot of other creators, I don't expect large audiences here. So I really like to just talk to my critical mass of people. And I got to tell you, man, I don't care how many subs you have. The fact is if you don't have diehard people, people who you can depend on, that none of this really matters, because then you can't pass it on to people who may pass it on to other folks. So let's see what we have here. I'm excited for next year's. Okay, we got to get you in on that. I wonder where the next get together will be. We have to figure it out. Atlantic City is an option. There's nothing wrong with Atlantic City. It gives you, the feel of Vegas if you want to gamble or whatever. There are also other tourist destinations. You got I'm not gonna lie to you, where did I go? Oh man, what is the name of that place? It's in South Carolina. And I'm not it's the boardwalk. Why am I not remembering it? Not Charleston. What is the name of that place? Well, I don't remember what it is. But there's a boardwalk, South Carolina. Why am I not? It's not Florence. Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is also a great place to check out. What else? Charlotte is nice. Atlanta is a good central place. Nashville is nice. Orlando. You got a lot of places that people can go and we can meet up for the East Coast crowd, because a lot of the East Coast people are more towards the southeastern region, but then we also have people like Matt who are up north in New York, and that's where Atlantic City would definitely come into play. Or there's actual New York City. That's too is a tourist destination. So these are all things that you can consider. Thank you so much, Georgette. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Fireboy. I drew an absolute blank, but these are all locations and locales that can be considered. I don't. Many are in. Well, yeah, John. We got a few Midwest people. I know you're Midwest. Spencer's Midwest. I think RJ can technically be considered Midwest since he's up in Michigan. But it's definitely something to think about. But I'm here at work. I wanted to talk to you guys about the casual card setup for the casual traveler. You don't have to always want to go to the Maldives and to Fiji and to Bora Bora or to the moon, wherever else anybody else wants to use points. You don't have to always do that because this card will allow for you to go across the country or maybe even hop across the pond. Plus, with the American Airlines travel partnership, you can also use that to visit the Caribbean, which is almost supremely dominated by American and One World. You can use it to head to South America. Worldwide, if you do, 1 or 2 trips a year, plus all of your spending categories are covered. So, as always, I appreciate you guys so much, and I say it every time, and I'll say it again. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here, and I will always be appreciative of that. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to get in here, I'm going to get it done to earn this money for, the family and the kids. My co-star is not with me today, but you already know if she'd be right here smiling into the camera. So you guys be good. Thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and salute, shout out Sledge, and I'm going to sign off. Take it easy, you guys.